So you're 16 years old and you finally decide to buy your first car instead of using your parents'. Now there are a few things you might need to know before you actually do buy your first car, because there's actually a lot of nitpicks and there's that you need to know before actually proceeding to buy your first car that you might not know. Now the first thing you need to know is that when you want to go buy your first car, you need to set a budget for yourself. Now I understand that everybody's financial situation is a bit different. Some people might have a lot more money to spend than others. But in my experience, with somebody who's worked a part-time job beforehand and might have a bit of assistance from their parents chipping in a bit of money, a good range is anywhere between $3,000 and $6,000 to get your first car. And there are actually pretty decent cars out there that you can get for that price range. Now myself, I only paid $3,000 for my car, and it was a car that I didn't get through Facebook Marketplace or TradeMe, although these are sites that you can search to look for a car that you want. I thankfully got it through a neighbor of my father's who just had the car lying around, and my dad said that my son was looking for a car. Are you going to use it? Would you like to sell it? He said yes. I went over, I test drove the car, and then I liked it. It fit all my qualifications, and I bought it. Now, when you are looking for a car, you need to understand what you want and the things that you're going to need it for. So ask yourself, what are you going to use this car for? Are you going to use it for road trips, daily travel, or just, I guess, luxury, or just looks, and stuff like that? With me, the qualifications I had for my car is I'm tall, I need enough headroom, and it needs to be fuel efficient. And honestly, I didn't care what the car looked like. I'm not into aesthetics or anything like that, or just the look of the car. If it works, it gets me to A to B, that's all I need in a car. And I've had this thing for 3 years. It has not given me any troubles whatsoever, and it's pretty good. And the thing is, when you buy a car or you're inspecting a car to look at it, just know that you need to look for acceleration, brakes, do you have a clear view, anything like that, before you proceed to actually buy the car. Now obviously, if you see a car that you like on Facebook Marketplace or TradeMe, specifically Facebook Marketplace, and you see the price for it and it's very low and it looks good, do not go for these, because they offer a very low price and then you go for buy it. These are mainly, not all scams, but they're not always telling the truth. And the main thing is that when you look at it, you look at the description of all the things that they tell you about the car. And I'm pretty sure the one thing you need to look for on that is something called clean fit, where the car has had no previous mechanical issues or anything like that. And if it does have that, and it at least lists a few of the good things about it, where it hasn't had any mechanical issues and it fits at least some of your qualifications for what you want for a car, then you can go. Another thing about that is that when you go, and obviously people want to be paid in cash instead of over bank transfer, mainly a lot of the time, that when you do it, have a little less money than what you're offering to pay for it. So if there's a car for $4,000 that you want to buy, go there with $3,800, $3,700. Yes, it'll be less than what the person asks for, but if they have it on there, they just want to sell it. If it's $300 below what they want to have it for, that's okay. Now, obviously this doesn't work all the time, and it would be good for you to bring the full price, but you could just offer them $200 less than that, and they might just take it. Now, I offered the $3,000 to the person, and he just took it, and I got my car. So that was fine with me, but it might be different for your experience in it. Now, with buying a car, if you're buying a car that has diesel fuel, you need to know that when you have a car with diesel fuel, you'll have to pay diesel mileage. And when it comes to buying a car, you don't just have the car and that's it. There are so many different things you have to pay for it. Like I said before, you have to pay for fuel. If you have a diesel car, diesel mileage along with fuel. You have to pay for your registration and put it on there for how long it is, and then you have to redo it. Your service, depending on how many Ks it's run and a date that has it probably in the top right corner, you need to know how long until you have to take your car in for a service, which is going to cost money. And then your warrant of fitness, your whole thing about taking your car in and have a full scrub through of what it needs. And obviously these things have dates on them of when they need to be done, and it's good to have them done before that said date. And all these things cost money. So it's not just the price of the car itself, it's all the other things that you have to add on and manage when you do finally get a car. Yeah. And that's pretty much all about it, the things you need to know. So finding a car, find it on Facebook Marketplace or TradeMe, knowing your budget and how much you need to spend on it, and just finding a car that's within your price range to a certain extent. Negotiate the price with the person. You can offer them a bit less and they will probably take it. And whatever car you get, just understand that it's not just the car itself, it is other things you have to pay for it alongside just the car. So, yeah. I hope this helps people that are looking for their first car and understand the things that go along with it. And just, I don't know, like, subscribe, and leave a comment if just telling me what kind of car you're thinking of getting your first one as. I'd like to know. It's interesting how people are different in what car they want and what car they get as their first car. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, I hope you guys took something out of this and enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.